Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddie and this is DIY with Maddie Claire. So the project that I am working on in today's video is updating my husband and I's entryway. We live in a really small apartment. It's about 575 square feet, so we don't have a lot of room to work with, but we do have a entryway table. We have a little mail holder, we have a coat rack, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of a facelift, repaint that table, change the color, and give a facelift for our mail holder. And then also I'm gonna be pulling in another piece that we had somewhere else in our house, which was this cool calendar, and I gave it also a little bit of a color change and added it to the area. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for future projects. Without further ado, here is my entryway DIY. So here is our entryway. As you can see, there is the table that I am going to be painting. Below it we have a shoe holder, and then above it we have our mail holder, which I will be changing the color of. We also have a record player sitting on it currently, but I plan to find a new home for that. To start, I'm going to lay out 2 old pillowcases and prep my surface by dusting it with a microfiber cloth and a little bit of dust spray. I want to make sure I get all of the nooks and crannies so that there's no dust left and it doesn't affect the way that the paint goes on. So I will be using some Sloan chalk paint in the color Old White. And what's awesome about Sloan chalk paint is that you don't have to prep your surface at all. It goes on over any sort of wood that might already have any seal that's on top of it. You don't have to sand it off. All you have to do is dust your surface and start painting. As you can tell as I'm stirring it, chalk paint has a lot thicker of a texture than regular paint. Chalk paint is not chalkboard paint. It's not a paint that you can write on with chalk. It's just a thicker consistency, and it has like a chalkiness to it almost once you paint it on the surface, which you can tell by feeling it. So I am using just a plain old paintbrush, which we will find out is a mistake. Sloan sells paintbrushes and they definitely make a difference from the videos that I've seen. I really had to work to get good coverage, and that is not normally the fact with Sloan chalk paint. So soon I will be doing an update of my coffee table in my living room. So look out for that video because I have ordered some Sloan brushes and I am going to give them a try and see how big of a difference it makes. I really had to work to get coverage on my table, and that should not be the case with Sloan chalk paint. It should go on smoothly and easily, and I know that that was no fault but my own because of my brush choice. So now you will see me just getting the first coat on the table. The first coat is always going to look a little patchy no matter what kind of brush you use. So it's going to look streaky, it's not going to look finished. The second coat is where the magic happens. So even if it starts to look a little rough at first, just keep going. Things will turn around. You will start to see your project come together soon. So here is what it looks like after the first coat. It does look a little rustic, but that's not exactly the look I'm going for, so I am about to go in with my second coat here. You will see immediately the change in the color and how you can see the white starting to come through, less of the brown popping in the background. So I am just going to finish up this second coat, get that all on there, and then we will get to see the finished product. So here is the finished product. I love the way the paint turned out. Now I am about to go in with a wax. With chalk paint, you have to cover it with the wax to seal it and so that it doesn't have that chalkiness to it and you don't cause fingerprints to stay on it and stuff like that. So I'm just using the clear wax and getting a full coverage all over my project. Now that the table is all done, it is time to move on to my mail holder. So I got this mail holder, the parts of it back in college, and I actually DIY'd it then, but I decided that I wasn't really a big fan of the backing on it or the colors for our apartment now. So I took the front off the back and I kind of made it my own. So I am using the Rust-Oleum Imagine spray paint in gold. It is so pretty when you put it on any sort of metal. I've used it on some brackets for some hanging shelves that I've made in the past, and I think that it makes it look like a true gold. So that's what I use on the metal part for the envelope that goes on the wall. I'm just using the backing as a mat so that I don't get any spray paint on the carpet, and I'm getting this first coat on here. I do realize that I got a little bit on the carpet, but I think it will come out and we'll be all good. Now it was time to update our calendar. So we got this calendar at Target. It's just a basic wall calendar, dry erase board calendar. And what I wanted to do was tie it in with the gold that we already had throughout our entire apartment. And especially since it was going to be right next to the mail holder, I wanted it to match that as well. So I took the sides off and I decided to give them a spray paint with that same gold that I used on the mail holder. So I got all of the sides off of the whiteboard, which proved to be a little bit of a challenge, but we got it. And then I spray painted them with the gold and let them dry. Once it was all dry, I grabbed the pieces and put them back on the calendar just the way they came and got them all snapped back into place. And here is the finished project. I think it turned out really awesome. I think it's a great upgrade for a dry erase board calendar. I found this one at Target. So now it's time to hang it. I am putting just basic command strips on the back of my calendar and I'm placing it directly on the wall. And the space is all done. This is the final product. I found some organization for the area. I found a home for the record player, kind of moved some stuff around, of course updated the colors, and I think that the white specifically on the table really opened up the space and made it seem a whole lot bigger. I'm really happy with the final product. None of these products that I use today are sponsored. I just enjoy them and I wanted to give them a try in my own space. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to see you here again. Please comment below anything that you might have done differently, any ideas that you have for my space, and be sure to check back on my channel for future DIYs.